In this dialog box, you have to check in here. In the snap type is the isometric snap. Snap type is the isometric snap. Right? Only this thing. Don't change anything over here. Now see here, when you click the isometric snap, the X spacing is reduced by a factor, right? Okay. Now see here, the cursor, the view of the cursor changes. You can see the cursor. Now, in this position, in this orientation of the cursor, while the green line is vertical, we consider this orientation as a left plane, left side plane. Okay. Now, if you press F5, F5, see the cursor changes. You can see the cursor. This cursor indicates the top plane or the bottom plane of the 3D object. Again, you press F5. See, cursor changes again. Right? Now, this orientation for right-hand side of the plane. So, for any solid, you have three planes, no? Left, right, two right plane, two left planes, and one top plane, bottom plane, right? 6 planes are there. So you can press F5 to toggle the plane. Okay. Now I am going to draw a cube of length, say 100 millimeter side length. Okay. Now click line. This is the first point. Next point, how much? It will be at the rate 100. Sorry. It's not working. Something is wrong with that. Point of the option keyword required. Point. I'm doing this again. Just a minute. Press F5 for the left plane. This is the right plane, left plane. So I'm going to draw a line ortho on. I have to press ortho on. Then no. Cancel again. Only this first point, 100. Achha, a small one, right? So this is on the left hand side plane. I'm trying to draw the left plane of the cube. So this is the left plane. Again press 100. Again press 100. Enter. Again press 100. Sorry. Sorry, I made a mistake. Delete this one. Right. Again in this direction. Right. So I have created the left plane. Now I would like to create the right plane. For that, I just press F5. Hundred length. Right. Now for that, see my cursor is for the right plane, so it's not moving here. So just give 100, right? So I'd like to connect this point and this point. So for that, I have to toggle it for the top right plane, right? So this is the second right plane. Right. Now you can see the cube. Now, if you want to give the dimension, this should be like that. Right. This is the dimension, but this is the improper dimension. You have to give the extension line aligning with the edges of the 3D component, right? So this extension line has to be parallel to the principal planes. So for that, what I have to do, I have to go to dimension, oblique dimension. So this one I want to make oblique. Right click, enter oblique angle. Sorry. This is this. To go to dimension, select object, change dimension again. Oblique dimension, enter oblique angle. What is the oblique angle? 30°. Right. I have to give the oblique angle, or I have to give the direction. Similarly, if I want to give this dimension, see here, I have to change the angle, oblique, this one. Either you can give the angle or this direction. Now, see what happens. I've given the angle just by selecting the 2 points. I am basically providing the angle of obliquity. But here the dimension, it is deformed. Why? Because instead of align type of dimensioning, I choose linear dimensioning. So here in the orthography projection, don't select the linear one. Now what happens if I give this linear one? This will be a problem. All right. I want to align the extension line with the principal planes. I have to go to dimension, oblique, angle. This object I want to change. I have to give the angle. Instead of giving angle, I'm providing the. So see, for this one it works, but for this one it will not work because this is the vertical direction. This is the vertical direction. So for here it is the linear one is suitable. Also you can use the oblique one, right? But for this one, because this line inclined, right? You have to select this one. Align type of dimensioning. This is the point. Right. Now if you want to change the angle, you can change it by go to dimension, then click oblique, select this dimension line, confirm it, and you have to give the angle. Either you can give angle here as 30 degree. You can check it whether it is corresponds to plus 30 degree or minus 30 degree. You can check it, or best way is just to give the angle just by selecting 2 points on the line. Now see, the dimension is like this. So this is the proper way of dimensioning in case of isometric projection. Okay. Now, if there are some curves, the hole, say on the right hand side of the plane, how to do this? This is the right plane. I want to draw a hole over here, or for the hole, I have to draw a circle. I just connect this ortho. Why I have drawn this? I have just drawn this to find out the center of the hole. I select this one. If I draw a circle, it will look like this. Okay. So the shape of the circle in isometric projection, it will be elliptical. So this is not the way to draw the circle in case of the isometric drawing. So what you have to do, delete this one. You have to select this, center. This is the midpoint. Right? This way you can give the draw the circle. Okay, for the top plane, there is a circular hole. If you draw by circle command, it will be wrong. You have to draw an ellipse. Or another method here, you select isocircle, right? In previous case, I have selected center for the ellipse, and for here, I have chosen the isocircle I. Right? So in this way, you can draw the ellipse. Okay. Now you can give the distance of the axis of the rotation, say 70. Right. This is not the correct one. I'll do it again. Click ellipse, isocircle, right? You can provide radius or diameter. See, this is the wrong way. So you can give, see, diameter, how much, say, 40 diameter. Then change, toggle this shape. Now see, this is the perfect one. I'm doing this by just give enter. So this is the 40 circle. Now you can correct this one. Now check whether this is the wrong one. What I did here on right plane, I click ellipse and center. So that is not the proper way. If you do this, you will do mistake. So what you have to do, I want to draw a circle on the right side plane. Ellipse. There are arcs, center, and isocircle. Preferable, you choose isocircle, enter. Asking for center of the isocircles. So this is the line on the plane. So this is the midpoint. So I select this one. Either you can give the diameter or the radius. So I choose, I have to give now radius. So radius is say 15. Now this is not the shape on the right plane. For that I have to change the cursor by pressing the F5 and bring it to the right plane. So okay, I have already given the 15 as the radius. So I enter. Now see. Now delete this one. Now see. Okay. So these three things you have to remember. You have to remember that in Snap, you have to go to settings, then check in isometric snap, right? When you check in isometric snap, you will see the cursor shape will change, right? At present, the cursor on the right plane, you can press F5 to change the plane. So this is for the left plane, this is for the top plane or the bottom plane, this is for the right plane. Okay. For drawing a circle or the curved surface on the plane, you have to select the proper plane, and accordingly you have to change the cursor shape, okay, so that you can draw the ellipse. Okay. For drawing a circle or circular hole or the circular corner, instead of circle, you have to go to ellipse. Then you have to go to isocircle like this. Then you have to select the point where you want to place the circle. Okay. After selecting, it will ask you for the radius or the diameter to provide, right? Either you can provide diameter or the radius. Then you have to check by moving the cursor whether your ellipse or the isocircle is on the proper plane or not. If not, press F5 tab, F5 tab, and toggle the cursor accordingly, right? And then place the circle. You can give the dimension of the 3D object except the vertical line. For the vertical line, you can use directly the linear dimensioning, and then you go to the oblique command under dimension here to change the orientation of the extension lines. But for other than vertical edges, you have to go to align type of dimensioning. You have to give the dimensioning, not this one, in this way, and you understand that the dimension is not proper. You have to align the extension line with principal plane. For that, you have to go to dimension, oblique, right? It will ask for the object. So this is the object you want to reorient. Enter, then just give the angle by clicking any 2 points on the principal line. Okay. Just a minute. Right. Okay. You have to keep ortho on. Ortho on. Oblique. Right. This is the angle. I'm providing the angle just by clicking 2 points on the line. Well, what happened?
সো ওইটার প্যারালাল তো অলরেডি আছে, ওই জন্য কি নিচ্ছে না, মানে আপনাকে ভার্টিক্যাল লাইনটার প্যারালাল নিতে হবে তাহলে।
No. Let's check. এটা মাঝে মাঝে গন্ডগোল করে। Right click, oblique angle. No, it's not. It has to be. Oh, I made a mistake. I have selected this line. That's the correct one. This. Right. The angle is this one because I want to align along this line. Okay. So in this way, you can dimension the 3D object. Now you can see this one, this thing, this PDF. The difference of ISO, equal, projection, and everything it is given. What is isometric scale? It is there. You can go through this, what I have talked so far. All these things are written over here. The methods are given here for the manual drawing. Okay. But I'm interested for the problems given here, right? Some problems. These are the problems. The problem 1, problem 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 6. These 6 problems you have to complete as your assignment. Okay, these 6 problems. Here inches, the dimensions are given in inches. You consider the dimension, instead of inches you consider it in a millimeter. Okay, centimeter. Instead of 3 inches, consider 3 centimeter. Instead of half inches, consider 1.5 centimeter. Okay, for you 1 inch equivalent to 10 millimeter. These 6 problems you have to complete. Now if you completed the 6 problems, now try to draw this figure, this one hexagonal pyramid, 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? It's a pyramid, hexagonal pyramid. You have to draw this hexagonal pyramid, right? See one thing, in isometric projection of the drawing, orthographic projections are given. Orthographic projections are given. You are not given the 3D view. 3D view you have to draw, right? Either top view, front view will be given. From top view, front view, you need to develop the third one. Okay, now you have 3 view. With this 3 view, you have to develop the isometric view. So the 7th problem is this one. This one. Okay, example 1. Now you understand that the cube I have drawn here, right? That is the standard cube. Means whenever you start a drawing in isometric projection, you need to draw this kind of cube representing 3 principal planes. Why? Because suppose you need to draw the pyramid, right? The pyramid has got a height, right? And you enclose a pyramid in a box, rectangular box or a square box, or a square, right? Area. Okay, now you have height, you have length, width. So here your principal planes are this one, and the vertical one. So here your reference plane will not be a cube, rather it will be a cuboid. Okay, so basically you are drawing the whole 3D. You are trying to draw a cuboid with all its maximum dimensions, and then within the cuboid you are trying to place the corners or the edges of the isometric drawing, of the solids for isometric drawing, right? Suppose you have drawn a cuboid with this much a base area and this vertical height, right? So you have drawn the cuboid, and on the base of the cuboid you have to draw these lines, because this is the solid, and you know with reference to this square area, reference square, from the corners of that reference square, how much length away all the corner points of the edges are placed for the actual solid. Okay, now that distance you can take on the isometric plane, because you have drawn this isometric plane, you have drawn the vertical planes also, right? Now once you have drawn the edges on the isometric plane, right, then your drawing will be very simple, right? You have to draw over here at this height another plane, the top plane, right? Mark the center, and you connect the top apex with all the corners in this way, right? To complete the drawing. That's it. So it's very simple if you follow this rule. Okay? আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে, তাহলে এটা করে ফেলো, করে সাবমিট করো। কারো কোনো প্রশ্ন আছে?
স্যার কবে নাগাদ সাবমিট করতে হবে স্যার?
করো, সামনের সপ্তাহের মধ্যে করো।
স্যার তাহলে আজকে ডেট হচ্ছে 24th, তাহলে নেক্সট উইক তাহলে 31st নাকি ডিসেম্বরের?
যাই হোক না কেন, নেক্সট
first
উইকে যেদিনকে ক্লাস
তারিখ,
থাকবে
এক
সেদিন
তারিখ।
হয়তো আমি নতুন টপিক, আই উইল স্টার্ট এ নিউ টপিক ইন অফ 3D ড্রয়িং ইন্টারসেকশন, অল দিস থিংস, রাইট? সেটা তোমাদের অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট থাকবে না, আমি করে করে দেখাবো, রাইট? বিফোর দ্যাট ইফ ইউ সাবমিট দেন it is simpler for me because I have to check your
Okay, sir.
assignment, no? Okay, so the time is 7 days.
স্যার ল্যাটারাল স্টুডেন্টসরা কি আর্লিয়ার অ্যাসাইনমেন্টস গুলো
Yes,
করবে?
yes.
স্যার ল্যাটারাল স্টুডেন্টসরা কি আর্লিয়ার অ্যাসাইনমেন্টস গুলো করবে?
আমি শুনতে পাচ্ছি না।
স্যার ল্যাটারাল স্টুডেন্টস গুলো কি আর্লিয়ার অ্যাসাইনমেন্টস গুলো করবে?
ল্যাটারাল স্টুডেন্টসরা আর্লিয়ার অ্যাসাইনমেন্টস গুলো করে করে জমা দেবে, ওই যেভাবে তোমরা জমা দিয়েছো ওরাও জমা দেবে।
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে।
ঠিক আছে, ওকে, ঠিক আছে। অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স গুলো পাঠিয়ে দিও, হ্যাঁ?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
স্যার আমি এখনই নিয়ে নিচ্ছি স্যার।